Hello, my name's John and welcome to the second Coat of Armies painting tutorial for Warlord Games Epic Napoleonic period. Welcome to my obviously purpose-built hobby studio, and today I'm going to be doing the Household or Lifeguard Cavalry. For all intents and purposes, you can pretty much follow my original tutorial for the Heavy Dragoons for these, because as a wise man called Stuart Mack pointed out, there's not much variation. The High Command appeared to have a bit of an imagination breakdown when it came to uniforms. However, having said that, I have taken a slightly different approach to these. Having done my research for once and finding out that the Lifeguard cavalry horses tended to be black, it's going to save a lot of dry brushing, because there's no point dry brushing the horses if they're going to be black anyway. I have blacked out a few bits and pieces, stuff that's meant to be black and stuff that will be metal. So of course all your swords, the sabretache, scabbard, boots, stirrups, helmet, they've all been recoated in black. I've got a slight case of rattle can primer blues with these. It's given them a bit of a grainy texture, which we all know and love. But nevertheless, I shall persevere. And of course, I've gone fairly heavy with the actual rider in an undercoat of white, because as much as I love the results of Vallejo's flat red, the initial coat is like painting out of a can of tomato soup. But it is lovely stuff eventually. So onwards and upwards from here. Okay, so that's the majority of the red on. The jacket, blanket rolls, and a thin line through the helmet crest there. And at the base of the helmet plume. And again, I'm using the my favourite Cantor blue for the saddle cloths. With the Cantor blue saddle cloths done, then it's Games Workshop's Mornfang brown for the little straps, rifle of course, and then Vallejo's brown leather for the horse tack. Switching to Vallejo's London grey for the trouser legs, and what appears to be a fleece or sheepskin saddle. Lead Belcher for the little metal accoutrements on his scabbard, the stirrups, and of course the sabre. A few bits of white scar white added here, the edge of the saddle cloth there for the yellow base. Put his sash on, tidied up the plume a little bit, and done the cummerbund around the waist for a bit of fun and games effort on there. So that's the yellow on the saddle cloth done. I've put 3 lines of yellow around his cummerbund there, and I'll be having some more fun with that shortly. It doesn't show up on here, but I've also done a very light dry brushing of Celestra Grey over the saddle fleece, just to make it look a bit more fleecy. And I've seen in a few pictures this light blue border around the fleece as well, which I kind of like, so I'm sticking with it. And then it's on with the Vallejo brass. I've done a stripe around the edge of the sabretache, this side of the skid lid strap, base of the mohawk, a couple of bits on the horse tag just for my own personal amusement. And then I've just about managed to do some stupidly thin red and yellow bands on the cummerbund there. Okay, we're nearly there. So I've used Vallejo's off-white to redo the shoulder strap, shoulder sash even, a bit of a touch up on the plume, and a dot for the horse's eyes, hopefully without making it look too mental. And also a very, very light dry brush of storm vermin fur on the mane and tail, just to highlight it a little bit. Okay, so I've done a little black dot on the collars and the black epaulette with a slash of brass through it. I'll put my hands up and say there is something else on the back here just above the cartridge case, but I can't for the life of me work out what the heck it's supposed to be, so between you and me, we ain't seen it. Right. Finish off with a coat of Games Workshop's Known Oil, and there we go. We are done. These chappies are done, and that rattle can blues just looks awful, but Fortunately, nobody's going to be looking that close, are they? And for the officer, I've just given him some, obviously I haven't finished this one off completely, but I've just given him the rather flashy white gloves. So, crack on, get them painted.